Most men over 70 assume their body just runs out of parts, that the stream slows down because the plumbing wears out, and the bedroom slows down because, well, you're old now. I believed that too, for almost a decade. Turns out both of those things trace back to the exact same narrow tube of blood vessels, and there's research going back almost 20 years showing a specific drink most men have in their kitchen right now can help reopen it. I'm 83. I sleep through most nights without getting up. I empty in one clean go in the morning, and at 83, my wife and I still have a marriage that isn't just two people sharing a bed. I didn't get there with a pill. I got there by understanding what was actually happening inside me. Let me show you what that mechanism is, because once you see it, you'll never look at just age the same way again. It starts small. You notice the stream isn't hitting the water the way it used to. You stand there a beat longer than you'd like, waiting. Then you notice something else, something you don't say out loud to anybody, maybe not even to your wife. Things in the bedroom aren't what they were either. Getting started takes longer. Staying there takes more than it used to. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice says, "This is what getting old means." You accept it. You tell yourself it's fair, it's just the years catching up. Meanwhile, you quietly stop initiating. You let her think it's her. You let the silence sit in the room a little longer each week, and neither one of you says anything, because what is there to say? "I'm scared it won't work," isn't a sentence a lot of us know how to speak out loud. I know men who went years, assuming this was simply the deal you signed when you turned 70. Nobody sat them down and explained why. Here's why nobody explained it. Your doctor has about 8 minutes with you, and in 8 minutes there's barely time to check your blood pressure, let alone draw you a diagram of your circulatory system. So you leave with a refill and a pat on the shoulder, and the actual mechanism, the thing driving both problems, goes unspoken. Here it is. Getting an erection and getting a strong urine stream both depend on healthy blood flow and relaxed, smooth muscle in the exact same pelvic region. An erection happens when blood vessels widen and fill the tissue. That widening is triggered by a molecule called nitric oxide, which tells the smooth muscle in those vessel walls to relax. This is basic, well-documented vascular physiology, not a theory. Nitric oxide's role in dilating blood vessels was significant enough that the scientists who identified it were awarded a Nobel Prize. Now here's the part almost nobody connects. An enlarged prostate presses directly against the urethra, squeezing your stream, and that same congested, inflamed tissue sits right beside the blood vessels feeding your erection. When circulation in that whole region is sluggish, you don't get one problem, you get both. The stream weakens because the channel is compressed and undersupported. The erection weakens because the vessels aren't getting the dilation signal they need. Same neighborhood, same root cause, two different symptoms. For 11 years, the bathroom ran my nights. Up at midnight, up at 2, up again at 5, a weak little stream each time and never quite empty. I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, knowing I'd drag through the next day half awake. I thought it was just age. It wasn't. Here's what no one ever sat me down to explain. The prostate crowds the channel your urine runs through, so the bladder never fully drains. It just fills right back up within the hour. That's why you go and go again. It was never weakness. It was never getting old. And the pills they kept handing me? They left me dizzy every time I stood, gave me that strange, dry finish where almost nothing came, and the nights never changed. But there is a gentle way to help that bladder empty the way it's meant to, without any of that. At 83, I finally sleep through the night again. I'll show you exactly what in this video, and if you want the simple support I personally use, there's a free presentation linked in the description below. So what actually helps that circulation wake back up? Here's where it gets interesting, and here's your dollar. Pomegranate juice is loaded with polyphenols, plant compounds that support the same nitric oxide pathway I just described. In a randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trial published in the International Journal of Impotence Research, men with mild to moderate erectile difficulty who drank pomegranate juice daily reported meaningfully better results than the group drinking a placebo. The researchers pointed to its antioxidant content protecting nitric oxide from breaking down before it can do its job, which means more of that vessel-relaxing signal actually reaches the tissue that needs it. A single glass costs you about $1 at any grocery store. No prescription, no appointment, no waiting room. But I want to be straight with you. One glass of juice is not a magic switch, and I'm not telling you to stop anything your doctor has you on. Talk to him before you change your routine, especially if you're on blood pressure medication, because dilating blood vessels is exactly what pomegranate's compounds are doing, and that can interact with certain prescriptions. What I am telling you is that this fits into something bigger. Alongside the pomegranate juice, I started doing 3 other things, and together they work like a system, not a single trick. First, I cut back on salt in the evening. Research has linked higher salt intake to more nighttime bathroom trips, because your body holds extra fluid that it then needs to shed while you're trying to sleep. Second, I started elevating my legs for 20 minutes in the late afternoon a few times a week. Fluid that pools in your legs during the day gets pulled back into circulation once you lie down at night, which is a documented driver of nighttime urination, so moving it earlier in the day means less of it shows up at 2 a.m. Third, I added a short pelvic floor routine most mornings, tightening and releasing those muscles the way you would to stop a stream mid-flow, because that muscle group supports both bladder control and the blood flow that feeds an erection. None of these cost much. None of them require a prescription. Together, they support the same circulation and the same muscle group from 4 different angles. These days, my wife and I take long weekend drives without me mapping out every gas station bathroom along the route, and I mean that literally. We went 4 hours last spring without a single stop, and I didn't think about it once until we were already home. That's not a small thing at 83. That's a marriage getting a piece of itself back. I think about a man named Harold, 71, a retired postal worker up in Tulsa, who wrote to me after one of these videos. He said he'd stopped reaching for his wife's hand in bed, not because he loved her less, but because he was embarrassed. And embarrassment is quieter than love, but it's louder in the moment. He started with the juice and the leg elevation because they were the cheapest things to try, and within a few weeks he told me the stream had picked up, and so had his confidence. I'm not telling you his story to promise you the same timeline. Every man's body is different, and Harold was already working with his doctor on his blood pressure, which matters here. I'm telling you because he's not unusual. He's one of hundreds of men who've written in describing the exact same quiet embarrassment I lived with for years. So here's what I use, a few drops every single morning. And let me be honest about why it works. One herb on its own nudges one thing, but your prostate answers best when several signals are calmed at the same time. The flow, the emptying, the pressure behind it. That's why what I take brings them together, concentrated, working as one, not a single ingredient hoping to do everything. Stronger stream, full emptying, quiet nights, your freedom back. And none of the trade-offs, no dizziness, no dry finish, nothing taken from you as a man. It's linked right under this video. Go see it for yourself. It won't replace good sleep or your own doctor. It's there to support your body. At 83, I sleep through. It is not too late for you. Here's what I want you to walk away with. The stream and the bedroom were never 2 separate problems handed to you by bad luck and bad years. They're one circulation system, asking for support in the one place nobody bothered to explain to you. Support it, alongside your doctor, never instead of him, and you're not chasing youth. You're just refusing to let one underexplained mechanism decide how the rest of your life looks. I think about the man I was 11 years ago, the one who stopped reaching for his wife's hand, who told himself the bathroom and the bedroom were both just getting old. And I think about the man I am now, 83, still driving 4 hours without a bathroom map, still reaching for her hand first. I didn't get younger. I just stopped accepting an explanation nobody had actually given me. If any part of tonight sounded like your own bathroom, your own bedroom, your own silence, tell me in the comments how long it's been going on for you. I read every one of them. And if you want more of these breakdowns, the honest kind, the ones your doctor doesn't have 8 minutes for, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.